Hi, everyone. Today's my birthday. And for those who don't know me, I am Dr. Donna Grant Wilcox, but you can call me Donna. I'm an author and a speaker. I work in ministry. I'm a counselor, cognitive behavioral therapist, that is. And I'm also a chaplain with hospice. I do a number of different things. I do a lot of music therapy in facilities and places in and around Denver area. We live right outside the Denver area on a beautiful mountain, and it's snowing right now. It's just gorgeous. But today happens to be my birthday, and so I thought this is a good day to start the videos I've been wanting to live stream. And so it's been a little bit of an emotional day because I was born February 6, 1960. That should tell you how old I am. I'm not 50 anymore. So anyway, and I don't know if I said it, but I'm also a comedian, a family-friendly, Christian-based comedian. However, I've got friends from every background, and they seem to love my stories. I tell stories from my childhood that are true and grow with day. Okay, and I had time here at the house. My husband's out of the country right now. I had time at the house here by myself, and I kind of planned it that way. Just me and my dog, and the deer outside. But I was going through some closets and cleaning out some things. I've been wanting to organize several of the closets for a long time. And I came across this box that I had put away that I would look at later because I just didn't want to look at it when events first happened. My father passed away December 19th of 2011. And I'm going to try not to cry, but it's probably going to happen. So if I'm not laughing, I'm crying. So there you go. But there was for 60 years, and my dad loved people. He was good to people, and he was a good pastor and a good friend. And my mom, she was hilarious. 4'10", 90 pounds, full of spunk. And her and dad just had this great relationship, and it was intense at times because my mom had an opinion. She was Irish. My dad was Cherokee and Creek Indian. So God help us all. But they had respect for each other, even in the way that they fought, which was a great thing for me to see. Not, young people growing up nowadays don't always get to see that. Homes are very diverse now. But anyway, I had this box, and when Dad passed away, I just couldn't bring myself to go through this box. And finally did yesterday. Was it yesterday? The day before. Okay. And as I open up the box, I come to this file, and it says very important, and it's underlined. And I could tell it was my dad's writing. Yes, I'm going to cry. And I open up this box and this file, and in this file is poems that I wrote as a 12-year-old, 13-year-old, 14-year-old, 15 and 16-year-old. I was very sick growing up. I had a blood disease. They couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. A number of times they thought it was leukemia or something like it, then only come back and say, no, it's not that. So people didn't understand. They didn't know how to deal with this young person growing up who, was barely 70 pounds. I got to 78 and 82, and that was like, woohoo. And I was bones before the TV show Laugh through it and say, yeah, here I am, what you need, So, but being sick and being a minister's daughter and believing in God and prayer and miracles and healing and salvation and all the things that we believe, those of us who believe in the Bible, we saw healings, but that didn't happen for me that way. It was a process. I didn't get my complete healing from the blood disease till I was 23 years old. And that's a long story within itself. You'd have to read my book to know the whole story. But I'd come across this in this file, and my dad kept these because he would underline things on the poems, and I would read some of them, but I don't think I could get through them without crying. A lot of it was about the pain and not understanding, but I knew that God was my father and Jesus was the king, and that I was his princess and I was his daughter, and it would be okay. I had this truly childlike faith that stayed with me. And, along the way, I lost that for a while, but I got it back. But not all of it, but that's a work in progress. We all are. But it was so amazing to read these poems and to know the pain that I was going through at that time, and that my dad kept those because for him, it was inspirational somehow. And so little did I know that a lot was going to happen. I wasn't going to be able to have children of my own because of it. At the age of 19, that option was taken away from me altogether. And I had been the good girl. I had been the girl the one that didn't go party, didn't do the things that a lot of other girls did. And yet I was the one that would not be able to have children once I got married. And so it was a very depressing time. And I can remember going through several years of such depression. And, Shonda Pierce says this, and it's so true. Being a cognitive behavioral therapist, I work with people all the time. And our brain is an organ just like our kidneys or our heart. And it really is true. It can get sick. And I allowed it to get sick because I allowed my circumstances to dictate what was happening in my life and the way my life was going to be. And I let it rule my mind. And so because I allowed that, I went through a long period of just doubt and frustration, even though in the midst of it and throughout it, God performed some really amazing miracles in my life. But I got through it, and little did I know that Dad was saving all this stuff. Now at 60, I find this out, and I remember him talking about poems that I had written, but I guess what I didn't know was that he had held on to that stuff. God holds on to our dreams. God holds on to our hurts and our pains, and he sees ahead, and he knows the good that's coming. We just need to hold on and trust him. And so I finally, got to the place where that was what I needed to do, and I knew it. And then wham, guess what? Diagnosed with a rare cancer, one of the rarest. Not kidding you. It was a rare soft tissue sarcoma, and chemo didn't work on it. The only thing that would prolong another reoccurrence, where a prolonging of my life, would be if I took a really heavy dose of radiation. Well, the blood disease I had growing up was in my spleen. So, they took my spleen out. So your spleen helps you fight infection. So I knew that I wasn't going to do that. And I looked at my husband and I said, I don't want to do that. And so he was the first person in my life, and nothing against my mom and dad. They just, I was their baby. They were trying to do everything they could to save me. But he looked at me and said, what do you want to do? I said, I want to trust God. And so that's what we did. And we got a miracle. I'm 24 years into no cancer. They don't know why I'm here. And it's just like an amazing thing. But then at 60, I pull out this box with these poems and I read them. And it's almost as if, throughout my life, what I could have written throughout my entire life, and many things that has happened. But what I want to say to you through this testimony is, you don't know what tomorrow holds. Hold on. Your circumstances may be really bad. And trust me, mine got real bad. And, but yet I didn't know that God was going to give me children. We've been mom and dad and spiritual mentors to over 49 young people. And many of them, we're the only mom and dad they have. We're grandparents now. Everything I thought I'd never have, God gave me in abundance and in every shape, color, and size. So it's like the coolest thing ever. And I want you to know, whatever your circumstances are right now, don't get your eyes on that. Get your eyes on what God says. He says we're going to be, he said, we are blessed. He said that we're highly favored. He says that we're redeemed and we're restored through him, not through us. We can't do it, but he can do it. So when we get our eyes on his word and we fixate, if you will, on what the Word of God says we are to be, we can be, we should strive to be, then the circumstances won't seem so huge. You're going to have, you have no idea the amazing life you're going to have. And you're going to be a missionary. You're going to go to India, Mexico. You're going to have an amazing opportunity to minister to people around the world. I wouldn't have believed it. And yet I wish I could go back, but I don't know that it would have made a difference. We are what we are in that moment, but it's up to us to pull ourselves out. And the only way we can do that is if we get our eyes on the right things. So I just hope this encourages you, because my life turned out great. It isn't without challenges. It isn't without obstacles, but all the things I thought I'd never have, I've had that in Papa. They call Bob Papa Bob. They call me Mama Donna usually. But I've got these grandkids. My oldest grandgirl's 19 years old, and she is so talented. She actually is an artist, and she was approved to do the cover of my book. And I'd like to, for anyone who don't know, here it is. It's Falling into Faith, A Journey to Freedom. My website is DonnaGrantWilcox.com. And if you get my book, I hope it blesses you. And more than anything right now, I just want you to know that God hears you. He sees your tears. He sees your pain. And he's bigger than all of it. And he's got a big plan for you. And he's got a plan to bless you. He's got a plan to heal you. He's got a plan to further you in ways you've never dreamed of. It don't mean it's not going to be a hard road. But if you hold on in faith, he's going to do amazingly, abundantly more than you dare to even think or imagine, because his word says so. Okay, I hope that blesses you. Have a great evening. I'm going to finish up the rest of my birthday, which is only a few more hours left. It's 8:03 on my mountain time. So I've still got a few hours before midnight, and I'm going to enjoy the rest of it. So God bless you, and I hope you tune in to me again. And I also hope that you check out my website. And I'm going to be doing a little bit of comedy for you on these videos, and I hope you enjoy it. If you don't, check your pulse. There's something wrong. Okay. God bless you. Bye.